It's not just fiberglass, rivets and welding, it's also blood, sweat and tears, buckets of it. Restoring an aging aircraft is a labor of love, but just what does it take to pick up the pieces and get it flying again? Deadly rain from the big daddy of American warbirds, the notorious B-52. Destruction on a grand scale. In the skies over Vietnam and later in the Gulf, it was in its heyday. But now, together with its faithful escort and minder, the P51 long-range fighter, it's been retired, destined to become a museum piece. It joins another American icon, the U-2 spy plane. They'll now be star exhibits for thousands of visitors expected to flock to the new Imperial War Museum at Duxford in England. It's a colossal amount of work, and detail too. But will it ever fly again, or is it grounded forever? With so many being dismantled as part of the East-West arms deal, will any be left intact? It's slow work, and it has to be done with care. All dust has to go before it can be repainted, and there's plenty of dust along the way. But Chris Chippington, a former engineer, now head of the Duxford project for Britain's Imperial War Museum, has no ambitions to see it fly again.
Once you commit yourself to restoring an aircraft to flying condition, particularly an aircraft that's 40, 50, 60 years old, you end up replacing an awful lot of the original structure. So it tends to lose its historical integrity. So our aim is to keep as much as we can of the original airplane there, even if it's not in airworthy condition.
The same goes for this B-25 Mitchell bomber. Every detail has to be rigorously checked to maintain that historical integrity. Often the plane in question has to be completely dismantled first. Thousands of parts, bits here, bits there, an aviation jumble. It's a stockkeeper's nightmare. But the end result, this Meteor will be swapped for an American fighter, the Sabre. Much of the restoration is done by volunteers. Former engineer John Nye loves the work.
If you're not used to engineering and using your hands, you probably won't realise, but when you've done something and finished it, and you know that that's as good as you can make it, there's an inward satisfaction in it.
But some, like the famous Sally B, flanked by a Thunderbolt and a Spitfire, do fly. They even become film stars. She's been in film and television productions and even has her own fan club. Thousands pay to see her each year at air shows. It's a memory they treasure. But can all the aircraft be genuine restorations?
Obviously, flying aircraft have got a large part to play in the historic aircraft movement, but a lot of the aircraft that you actually see flying, or some of the aircraft, not a lot, some of the aircraft you see flying at air shows are part replicas, and in the odd case they are complete replicas, and the only thing that's original is the serial number.
Not so for this old Avenger starting on the road to restoration. They keep faith with the image, in this case an old B-29, notorious for the dropping of the bomb on Hiroshima. The museum's range is extensive, including the T-33 trainer, also known as the Shooting Star. Outclassed by this, the formidable MiG-15 in the war in Korea. And this, a Phantom, in theory technically superior to the MiG, was outmaneuvered by it in the skies over Vietnam. But these were all aircraft designed to cause death and destruction. Can it be right to spend such time and money on their resurrection? Some critics say it's just glorifying warfare, but Chris Chippington has an answer.
Unless we record and present the causes of warfare and the effects of warfare, then there's a great possibility that generations in the future might not be aware or might not fully understand the consequences of warfare. So no, the intention is never to glorify it, quite the opposite in fact.
Certainly for those who were terrorized by this, a German flying bomb, the consequences of war hardly need spelling out. Of the over 22,500 Spitfires built during and immediately after the Second World War, only 40 to 50 now survive, mainly thanks to enthusiastic restorers. Even the B-52 Stratofortress is disappearing. Of 744 which were built, only around 100 are still in one piece.
The facts from Flightline.